So I'm in the Woodlands, Texas area, and this video is about the struggle of trying to garden in late July in the North Houston area, and failures versus successes, things that are working out and things that have died, sadly. Also include some tips and tricks about plants that might have us a little bit fooled right now. So this is my bonfire peach tree, which it looks like it's a little thirsty or struggling. My rising sun redbud looks pretty good still. I'm happy about that. Gold Star Esperanza, loving the sun. Have any blooms on that right now. This is the flamethrower redbud, and it has lost several leaves. It's struggling, so we'll see how it does. I've been trying to water it extra, but it's having a little bit of a hard time. Most of my plants are growing like crazy. So this is a tropic snow peach tree, which it looks like it died down, and then there's a branch coming up from under the graft. So what I think I might do is just go ahead and let this grow into a strong stem, and then eventually maybe graft another branch from another tropic snow peach tree on there, so it's not a complete waste. So we'll see. And then this is a button bush. The Sunshine Ligustrum and the Wax Myrtle, these are looking great, and I like these because they're evergreen. This Wax Myrtle over here screening the shed, and then there's a peach tree here. So this tropic snow peach tree is doing much better. These are Chickasaw plum trees, and they're growing well. Started blooming or making plums, but they're taking off as far as growth. And then I have this Rose of Sharon hibiscus. These are large plants, and they do really well during the hot summer. There was a dragonfly on this. This is a mayhaw tree, and it is not doing very well. There's the dragonfly. So I'm gonna just leave it because it likes moisture. In East Texas, mayhaws, they produce fruit in May, and even have like a mayhaw festival in Dayton, but that's east. So east, they get more rain, and mayhaws love the moisture. Well, here we are, we're in the Woodlands, so north of Spring, and we don't get as much rain. We've gotten a lot of rain this summer, but I was on vacation, so I missed watering it for a little while, and now it looks pretty dried up. But sometimes they lose their foliage and they come back. This is a bridal wreath spirea, I believe. So in my location, the redbuds do much better in the shadier areas, but I do think this one might have a little bit of powder mildew. We're working that out. Inland sea oats do well in the shade. I have some cestrum, and I planted that last year, and it's doing really well. The fig tree is happy. False indigo, that one's taking off. The aloe vera, always love the summer. I got some little blue stem grass, and my animals actually really love to chew on that. This here is a blackberry bush, and then these are mahogany hibiscus. I like the color because it contrasts well with all the green. Then I have a rough leaf dogwood, another false indigo. This one has gotten really big, which I'm happy about because I'm trying to screen the backyard. And then this volunteer sweet gum has grown a lot. The banana tree grows a lot, grows very well. I never get bananas because we're in Texas and it gets too cold, I think, for it to make bananas. But maybe I will get bananas in the future if we have a mild winter. The blueberry bushes are doing well. The loquat over here does a lot better than my other two loquats. See, I think it's because it gets more shade actually here. Another loquat. This is a copper top loquat. It's my other loquat. I mean, it's doing fine. It's just not as full and pretty as the other one. The other one's a little older though, too. I have this Louisiana catchfly that's blooming. It looks really nice, the red. There is a Texas persimmon. Our sweet almond bushes. I have one there on this side of the patio, over here on this side of the patio, because they have a nice scent, fragrance. And so I'm hoping that the fragrance will infuse the patio area. I put several cardinal flowers here. When they bloom, they'll look really nice. They bloom red. They're canna lilies right here. And then I have a bald cypress tree right there, and a magnolia tree there. Crepe myrtle. The Yaupon hollies actually grow pretty fast here. I planted this like maybe 2.5 years ago, and it's already taller than me. And there's Yaupon holly everywhere in these woods. So the Yaupon loves our soil here. With American Beautyberry, it's everywhere in the woods here in the Woodlands area. And you can see this has just taken off. It's taller than me now. And you can see all the berries that are there. This is my Crimson Queen Japanese maple, and it's holding on. But you can see there's some really dried up leaves, so it's kind of struggling. I don't want to prune it really because maples have trouble with pruning, and I'm trying to just see how it does. So anyway, but the American Beautyberry right there looks good. I believe this is some kind of viburnum. The camellia, it's struggling. The struggle is real with the camellia here. I think it's just too hot, or it just dying, who knows. The cherry laurel, and I planted it not too long ago, and it's doing pretty well. Shrimp plants, for me, they only want to bloom in like November. Maybe 'cause it's so shady. I did trim them back a lot because they're taking over. The viburnum is doing well. Back in the back, that's frostweed and a pine tree that I planted. It's doing fine. That is a river birch tree, and it's doing well. My yucca, or yucca, in Mexico they call them yucca plants, but it's doing fine here in this pot. It's leaning, but there it is. This is an anaconcha orchid. It's a native Texas orchid tree, and it has white blooms. It's not blooming right now, but it's doing pretty well. There is a dried branch, but for the most part, it's doing fine so far. The rock rose is blooming, so it's looking great. You can look at my front yard. For the most part, it looks pretty good. My plants are growing pretty well. The dragon tree in the pot in front of the window is doing really well. It's an older plant. I keep it in a container. I bring it in the winter. Patio plants are looking pretty good now. This is a Texas buckeye. While it looks pretty bad, they usually lose their leaves at about this time, July, August. So even though it loses its leaves in the summer, it will come back next year. This is a red buckeye. It'll do the same thing. And you can see the cicadas, they like to change their shells out on my leaves. I have little labels so that I'll know what I planted for some plants that I might forget what they are. This is a fire glow Japanese maple. Looks like some insects have gotten it, but it's doing fine. So far, I think we've only had the sprinklers go off maybe 1 or 2 times this summer. And I use my rain barrel to water individual plants occasionally that need it. What I found that really works the most in my garden, coming from somebody whose family wasn't really gardeners, and I've just been trying to start learning on my own and doing this on my own, is that planting native plants are generally more successful. So if you're just getting started, I recommend starting off with native plants because they're used to growing here, they're used to our soil, and generally they don't need a lot of extra help except for whenever they're first starting out to get established. And the rain barrel, the rainwater works great with them. I've actually started making my own fertilizer, the weed tea, to help fertilize the plants sometimes. I haven't done that a whole lot, but you just put a little bit of that in the rainwater and feed the plants and they'll start taking off. But I'm really happy with how everything is turning out so far. Thank you for watching my video. Let me know if you'd like to see me talk about anything more specifically, and have a great day.